Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and have a spoiler warning at the beginning because we're talking about the rise of Skywalker.
A big, fat, gravy-dripping spoiler alert right here.
Yep, no, we're spoiling the whole movie.
The whole movie.
All of it, period. Because we just went and saw that shit.
Yeah, period blood.
Yeah. And,
The way she was grunting and gritting her teeth throughout most of the movie, probably.
Oof. Yeah, so, do we want to preface it with our individual scores first, since we're going to nitpick the shit out of it, I imagine?
Yeah.
Better than The Last Jedi. Better,
Yes.
It's probably the best of the three.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
On a scale of 1A to my shit, I'm gonna put it at a solid. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
that's about a 6, I would think. So.
Maybe a
5 or a 6.
6.5
I
to
think
7.
a WoW was a 6.5 to 7. I think a nice, which is mine, is more of a 6.5.
Yeah.
Mine's a nice.
Yeah, no, it was definitely better than The Last Jedi, and I think the cause for that was they were trying to clean up a lot of the mess that was left by The Last Jedi, because there was a lot of mess left by The Last Jedi. It still wasn't... Last Jedi was not a terrible movie. There was just a lot of terrible shit in it that bogged down the really, really good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I want to start at the fucking beginning, then? Where literally 2 minutes into the fucking movie, the OG himself, good old Big P Palpatine, comes back.
Yeah, they don't waste any time.
Yeah,
letting
no.
You know that teaser a few months ago
Yeah.
was not a teaser. It happens immediately.
Yep, just, Kylo Ren is on that planet...
Scary Sith planet.
It sounded like vaguely similar to Excalibur, like Excalibur or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it was like Excalibur, yeah.
Yeah. So, Palpatine's just been hanging out there for the last 30 years on his giant GLaDOS-looking life support chair.
Forming a giant coven of faceless
Yeah.
goons. Like, really massive, like, concert-sized crowd of, like, hooded people.
Yeah, no, he had
Like, where do these fuckers come from? Jesus.
he had a lot of cultists with him, and,
Love me some cult.
Yep. So it started out with Kylo got a thing, a Sith Wayfinder, which leads directly to this one planet.
To that planet, the Sith planet.
Yeah.
Excalibur.
God damn it. My ring fell off. And so then Kylo goes there, and he's like, because, like, they waste no time in this movie. Like, the opening crawl is like, yeah, so they're receiving transmissions from Emperor Palpatine. And it's like, wait, what? And then suddenly Kylo's there. He's like, I'm going to kill you, Palpatine. And Palpatine's like, no, you're not, you fucking scrub. I'm going to give you the Empire.
Yeah.
And then Kylo's like, I...
Do not
Yeah.
judge my power by my respawn timer.
Yeah.
Palpy's been building over that time just a massive fleet of Star Destroyers.
Yeah, which shame on them for calling them sky garbage. I felt personally attacked by that. That was some bullshit.
Well, let's explain what's so different about this Sith fleet of Star Destroyers. It's terrifying in the universe.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of Star Destroyers.
You know, each one of them has a planet buster on it.
Yeah.
That's fucking horrifying that every Star Destroyer can just blow up a planet now? Holy shit. Sky garbage my asshole.
Yeah, no, Han Solo was proven wrong when he said it would take 1,000 ships with more firepower. No, it wouldn't. Not anymore.
Right.
Yeah, so...
It takes an ship.
Yep. So, then Kylo's like, alright, yeah, sure, I'll take the fucking Empire. And then he reforges his mask, which I thought looked pretty cool, with its glowing weld lines.
I was down.
Why did they glow forever?
I'm assuming because it was reforged with, like, Sith sorcery or something like that.
I'm gonna go with just residue of Sith energy or some shit like that.
Yeah. Or maybe he was just like, hey, can you
Make
guys...
it red.
Can you guys make my mask look scary?
Can you put some LEDs in there?
Yeah.
Do you think he ever said that to his engineers? Like, just make it look scary? Or do you think he just said it in a very long, drawn-out way instead of like, make me look terrifying?
Make it look scarier. Which, by the way, Adam Driver is an ugly fuck. Like, I couldn't stop thinking it. Every time I saw him, I was just like, fuck that guy.
For some reason, I was more okay with it in this movie than in the first one. Where in the first one, it's like, dude, that nose. And now it's just like, yeah, that's definitely Kylo Ren.
Yeah, I can't remember which one of my friends said it, but Kylo Ren looks like a weird cross between Severus Snape and Neville Longbottom.
I was going with...
You are... Wow.
No.
That's pretty on the nose.
No, he's Ron Malfoy. When his hair was wet,
Who?
walking towards...
Ron Malfoy?
a mix between Ron and Draco.
Oh.
He's Ron Malfoy. I'll fucking look up a picture from that movie, and you'll be like, holy shit, okay.
Ralphoy.
Yeah.
Malon.
Don't ship Ralphoy, by the way.
I mean, who would?
You'd be surprised.
I mean, it's the internet, so I suppose you're not wrong. But, so...
You dirty blood trader, get over here.
Yeah, so, Kylo gets a new fleet and goes around and starts just wrecking everybody's shit with it. And, good old Brindle Hux is there.
Yeah.
And, the red-haired guy.
Oh, yeah.
And, apparently a guy who served with Palpatine before, like, was it Legion General Pride?
Yeah.
Which, really cool name, by the way.
Right.
I was okay with that. So, yeah, they're just rolling around, blowing shit up. And
At the speed of sound.
At the speed of sound. And,
Can't stop him now.
Yep. Then they, like, make some kind of comment like, there's a spy among us. And then, Poe flying the fucking Millennium Falcon all over the place.
Yeah.
Which is pretty dope.
It was cool. There wasn't enough Poe in an X-Wing doing cool shit.
Yeah.
Which was unfortunate.
Yeah. So,
That was the big thing I wanted.
He was in the movie plenty, but not him kicking ass.
Which, I love that character, so I'm glad he was just all over the movie.
Yeah.
But, yeah, unfortunate we didn't have more Poe in an X-Wing.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So, it was Poe, Finn, and Chewie sitting at the hollow chess table playing a game.
Yeah.
And they're like, how does he always win?
Why is he taking so long?
Is he cheating? He must be cheating.
Like,
okay,
no,
okay.
we know you're not cheating.
Okay,
You're
right,
250 years old, you're better than this at this than us.
Yeah. And then they get a transmission to go pick up some shit from a spy. And they're like, well, no, Chewie, it's fine. Just go fly the ship. We won't turn it off. We're not going to turn it off. And then Chewie gets up and leaves, and they're like, yeah, he's definitely cheating. And they just turn the fucking table off.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. So they fly out into the middle of nowhere.
Also, random weird slug alien.
Oh yeah, Slug
on
Boy.
The ship
Yep. Just
who
Crew
didn't.
member.
He was just there.
yeah.
Just crew member, yeah.
He was just.
Yeah. So they go out to the middle of nowhere, download some bullshit onto R2D2, and a bunch of First Order TIE fighters show up. And they're like, oh, we gotta get the fuck out of here. So they start hyperspace jumping just all over the fucking place.
What do
Which
they call it? Light speed skipping, and not the same thing as jumping? Isn't
Yeah.
that like short range warp speed or some shit like that?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were skipping to try and lose him.
Which, by the way, that shit, according to science lore, shouldn't work at all, period. You're not supposed to be able to hyperspace jump in atmosphere.
Which they
did.
Which they did, and that was the whole thing when they ended up showing him back up at the Rebel base after losing the TIE fighters.
Yeah.
Leia was like, there's something about, like, you can't hyperspace skip the Millennium Falcon and stuff. And Poe's like,
apparently
well,
you can.
I fucking did, bitch. Like,
Yeah, but, like, I mean, they were obviously, like, on planets and shit when they were jumping around, but, like, here's my first big nitpick of the movie. When you're in a gravity well, you can't hyperspace jump, like, period. That's the whole point of Imperial interdictor ships, is they project gravity wells to keep people from doing that exact thing. It shouldn't have worked, but it was cool. I'll let it slide.
Yeah, Millennium Falcon always skips past the rules, dude.
It's true. The Millennium Falcon it's exempt.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's fucking exempt.
Yeah, speaking of stuff suddenly being exempt, man, they play fucking fast and loose with a lot of the force powers in this movie.
Yeah,
Fast and loose.
we saw some weird shit in that movie, and we'll get there. So anyway,
Yeah, sorry.
they get back to the base, deliver the info, and whatever planet they were on, Rey was undergoing some Jedi training, and she's not good at it. She's not. Period. She wasn't good at it.
she wasn't great, but
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Yeah, like she was trying to connect with.
She's also new
Yeah.
to the Force and
Yeah,
whatnot.
she was trying to connect with the Jedis of old, and it wasn't working, so then she did, like, her Yoda and Luke obstacle course through the fucking forest, which she was doing all right up until Kylo was like, hey, girl, what's up? I'm force phoning you. And she's like, God damn it, Kylo, get out of
I'm in
here.
the middle of something.
He's like, send pics, please.
Yeah. Just nude pics. Send me some. And that just throws off her entire training
Yeah,
regimen.
He sent her a dick pic. And
Yeah.
She's just...
Just right in your brain. Can't even ignore it.
Oh, God. Kylo, fuck, dude. I know you're on the dark side. But Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so that...
Why does your dick look like your helmet? Oh, God.
So it throws off her whole training regimen. She starts getting her ass kicked by one of the little practice droids. She cuts down a couple of trees, one of which just straight lands on BB-8, and she's like, "Oh shit, sorry,
Control my rage.
sorry, BB-8. I didn't mean it."
By the way, can't take the little droid out with a lightsaber, but does it with a stick just fine.
Yeah, no, she just straight spears the practice droid with a stick because she just kept missing it with a lightsaber, which. Again,
She's also good with the stick.
yeah, she's much better with the stick than she is with the lightsaber.
Thankfully, from your Christmas gift, fighting with a wooden staff is totally a canon fucking Jedi fight style.
Yep.
So I was cool with that.
Yeah.
Now that I know that.
Yeah, so she goes back to Leia, who I guess, Leia was training her.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Look, Leia, like I'm not getting this shit. Like what up?" And she's like, "Rey, sit down, like talk to me. What's going on, girl?" And Rey's just like,
I'm tired.
"I'm tired. I haven't slept in like 3 days. Like I don't know. It's not going good." And she gives Luke's lightsaber back to Leia, and she's like, "I'll figure this shit out eventually."
Don't be afraid of who you are. This is not what I'm concerned about. I told you I'm tired. I haven't slept in 3 days.
Yeah. She's just like, "I'm tired." She's like, "Don't."
You're going completely off subject here, Leia.
Yeah.
It's like, can I have a nap?
Don't be afraid of who you are. And Rey's like, okay. So then,
I wasn't. That wasn't the issue.
yeah, there's okay.
Which I did. She was.
Yeah.
But.
But then the Falcon gets back to the planet, and the whole thing's just on fire. Like, the Falcon is on fucking fire.
Oh, yeah.
And Rey's like, "What the fuck did you guys do?" And then Poe's like, "What the fuck did you do to BB-8?
No, what did you do to the Millennium
What did you do to the Falcon? It's on... The Falcon is on fire. BB-8 is not." And then Poe's like, "Yeah, what's left of BB-8? What did you do?" And Finn's just like, "Guys, can we just, like, not right now? Like, we got some important shit to talk about."
You fucked up the compressors.
Yeah, and she's like, "You can't light speed skip the Falcon." He's like, "Well, I did." Man! Just being real assholes to each other for kind of no reason.
Well, I mean, I'd say a reason. I mean,
Yeah.
Poe really likes BB-8, and she
Yeah.
really likes Millennium Falcon.
Also, appropriate background. Just saying.
Yeah.
Cycling that shit through.
Wouldn't say appropriate. He's dead now.
Well, no, I mean, they're
I
all
don't say
dead,
related.
but there's my computer cycles through background pictures, and one that came up with Star Wars
Oh,
is
cool.
Vader and a bunch of bounty hunters.
Wait, does it change like every 30 minutes? Oh shit, I never really noticed that.
Yeah, no, it goes pretty fast. Another fucking Star Wars background. It's like the computer knows what we're talking
It's almost
about.
like you planned this.
I mean, I didn't, but I'll take credit for it. So they deliver the bullshit
Baboon.
to Leia, and they're like,
Suckle at my teeth.
"Yes, the First Order
Teeth, he's close.
is rising again on the planet Excalibur."
I'm just gonna call it Excalibur.
Excalibur.
That's pretty much what it sounds like.
All right, on the planet Excalibur, and they're like, "Yeah, in like 18 hours, this giant fleet is going to attack our whole 3 planets."
Wait, is there only 3 left?
That's what they said. They were going to begin attacks on all 3 worlds.
I thought they said all 3 worlds. They said all 3.
Was it free?
Yeah, not all
Oh.
3, all 3.
I heard 3. I
No,
mean,
it was free.
I mean,
Like-
look, the Resistance is fucked, so it could very well be on.
No, they
3
were still
planets.
fucked. It was just way more than 3.
Okay,
Still
so,
fucked, but.
all right, so all 3 worlds, got it. So like, yeah, and so we like gotta go find the fleet and attack it on the planet. So they go on a quest to find the secret Sith world, which Luke was looking for back in the day and never found. So they go to
Well, Luke and someone else. were
yes,
both
we're
looking
getting
for it.
there. So they go to not Tatooine, but another desert planet. And there's just a big old party going on
Yeah,
for...
there it is.
Oh yeah, the celebration
They're
of
line
ancestry
dancing.
or some shit like that.
Yeah.
It looked like a dope ass party in the
Yeah,
movie.
it
I was
did.
like, man, this is alien Burning Man. I'd love to be there. Cute little alien girl gives Rey a little necklace after.
Yeah,
she-
Mardi Gras beads.
Yeah, basically desert Mardi Gras.
Ray does full frontal nudity in this movie.
Oh yeah, it is glorious. Like,
Yeah. Like, say what you want about
I
Rey,
mean, she's
but...
got small tits, but I'm not mad about seeing them.
I mean, say what you want about Rey, but Daisy Ridley's a fairly attractive lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this little girl gives Rey Mardi Gras beads, and
And you see John Boyega's dick.
yes.
Oh yeah, it is just.
Like, every 5 minutes they just show it again. It's weird, but...
It's like that thing from Fight
Yeah.
Club where they just chop in single frames of John Boyega's dick. No, so the little girl gives Rey the beads and introduces herself with her full name, and 3PO is there translating, and she's like, Like, the little girl would be honored if you would give her your family name. And Rey's like, well, fuck, I don't have one.
Just Rey.
It's just Rey. And then the stormtroopers attack the party, which someone called the cops because clearly there was drugs.
They got a noise disturbance.
Yeah, you know, just...
So loud the next village 200 miles to the west heard it.
Yeah, just fucking called down the storm cops and they're like, hey, look, they're getting toked, they're getting drunk. I'm sure they have underage kids there. I just saw one give Mardi Gras beads to a lady.
I heard one of them say Jedi out loud.
Yeah.
There's women showing their breasts to underage children.
Yeah.
Like,
We need to get out of here.
Yeah, so...
Also, Babunia Petunia is being...
Dude, I've never seen him this snugly before. While someone's sitting down anyway.
He wanted to hear all about Star Wars, and we're just fucking the entire thing up for him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, anyway, the space cops get called on the space party, and Rey, Finn, Poe, and 3PO, and Chewie, and BB-8 are like, fuck, we gotta get out of here, like, right now. So, they get into...
No. You're missing the little part between these two-ish parts where the stormtrooper catches them for a second and catches an arrow through the eye socket.
Oh, yeah, shit.
Yeah, like probably one of the few, other than the ones on the ships, stormtroopers that actually died.
Yeah, so...
Just took an arrow right through the head.
Yep. So he gets sniped, and then this, like, straight-up, like, giant World War II-looking tank just pulls up. And a guy gets out, he's like, get in right now, we gotta go.
I mean, he was already outside of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
They let him into it.
Yeah, like, get in. So they roll out in the tank, and the guy takes the helmet off, and then fucking Billy D. Williams, who...
Lando! Calrissian.
Yep, Lando all up in that shit. He's like, hey, what's up? I heard there was some resistance stuff going on here, and I figured I'd come help you out. And I think Rey was like, who the fuck are you? And Finn and Poe are like, oh my god, it's fucking Lando! It's General Calrissian!
And Rey's sitting there like, you didn't come here to help. You've lived here for years, haven't you?
I mean, yeah.
Stuck here, aren't you?
He showed up for the space party and never left. So they explain what they're doing there, looking for the clue that will lead them to the Sith homeworld. And Lando's like, yeah, you know, me and your boy Luke, we was looking for that thing too, and we never found it. And so, like, I don't know if Luke couldn't find it. I mean, you guys probably won't, but I'll help you look anyway. He didn't actually.
Basically, they found some wreck.
Yeah.
Which Luke and Lando had looked over, but
yeah,
they were like, let's go back and double check that shit.
Yep. So they end up hijacking some speeders, which...
Let's not skip one of the little bits.
Oh, yeah, no, like, right as they're about to roll out, Lando looks at him and is like, hey, next time you see Leia, give her my love.
No, I meant the part where Kyle steals her necklace.
Oh, yeah, shit, we forgot where Kylo stole the Mardi Gras beads.
Yeah, they do another little force talk where he's like, I'm sorry about the dick pic, but do you want another?
He's like, join me, Rey, and she's like, no. So they get, like, really close, and, like, despite the fact that he's, like, half the galaxy away, he just, like, straight reaches out and grabs her Mardi Gras beads and rips them off, and he was like, I was shirtless in the last movie. I deserve these beads.
Yeah, which was the thing. I was like, one of the fast and loose with the force powers. When the fuck was that a thing outside of like legendary people in history? Being able to like literally like interact with shit that far away. Like even in the book, there was only one clan of force users who can kind of do that, and they're part of the Jedi.
Yeah, I'm thinking that led into some shit that Palpy was saying, where he was like, yeah, so that Snoke guy, I made him. I was puppeteering that shit. Every voice you ever heard in your head, it was me.
Yeah.
So I'm
cycling through all the different characters' voices while I saying that.
Like I'm assuming because of there was that bit in the last movie where Snoke was like, you know that whole like force telecommunication thing that was going on? That was me. I linked you two. So really what that meant is I did it. It was me. So I'm assuming it was Palpy doing some Sith sorcery nonsense to facilitate that whole thing.
No, I think they're just like saying Kylo Ren can just do that because he does it twice. Or well, actually, no, he does it once and then she does it back to him.
Yeah, it happens multiple times, but Palpy was the one who kind of put that link there, even though not really because of some stuff that's said later.
I like the small detail that even though she was standing in his fucking quarters, he didn't know that, even though they were fighting in his quarters at the time.
They always saw the other person wherever they were, so like Kylo was in his quarters and saw Rey there, but Rey was on the desert planet and saw Kylo there, and they were each like, where are you? Are you here? Are you there? Are you anywhere? Dr. Seuss, what's going on?
Why are all these berries on my fucking bathroom floor?
Yes, and like things like started slipping through the cracks, like
Some weird. This is fucking time crisis right here.
yeah,
fuck.
like
Put it back together, hurry.
yeah, like fucking Kylo steals the Mardi Gras beads, and like later on some like
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail it too much.
no, it's fine.
I just want to complain about like when the fuck did he do that? When?
Yeah, weird wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff. So Ray's like, shit, we gotta go, because he snaked the Mardi Gras beads and was like, hey, get these to testing, find out where they're from.
Yeah, I was like, clever bitch.
Right?
I always forget that Kylo Ren's actually pretty smart. He just always has his face on half the time.
Well, that's just Adam Driver's face, so,
Yeah. Oh,
you know.
fuck.
Anyway, yeah, so,
It's unfortunate.
So when he makes a normal face, it's him trying to make a normal face?
like,
Shit.
it's, real quick segue, I watched a speech that Adam Driver did, basically talking about his journey from, like, when he was in the Marine Corps to how he became an actor. And, like, watching him act like a normal person and not Kylo Ren is weird.
Yeah, just same with, what was that movie we watched? The zombie movie with Bill Murray?
Dead Don't Die.
Yeah, Dead Don't Die. Him in that movie is just bizarre.
I
Right?
was just thinking I kind of want to watch that.
Yeah.
I'm done with this.
So Kylo figures out where they are, goes and sends some troopers after them, and Poe just straight up hot wires like some old ass beat up speeders, and Finn's like, how the fuck do you know how to do this? And Finn's like, don't worry about it. So they go on a chase through not Beggar's Canyon, and we get to see some pretty sick, like, all-terrain fucking First Order tracked motorcycle things.
Yeah.
Which I thought those things were fucking awesome.
It looked like they were like hover bikes, but also had that thing in case of rough terrain. Like they could also, it doesn't matter if they hit the ground or not, they're still going.
Yeah, and they do this awesome like reverse wheelie where they like slam on the brakes in the front and like the back flips up and launches the other guy off who has jetpacks.
They fly now.
They fly now.
They fly now.
They fly now. So they're getting chased down by fucking
Gotta give me one of those.
yeah, fucking flying stormtroopers, and through some cool maneuvering from Finn and Poe and some
Good shooting.
good shooting from Rey and Chewie, they defeat the troopers, get out to where the fucking wreck is, and then they get caught in quicksand.
Yeah.
It's like, whoops.
And then Finn tried to tell
Tried to tell Rey
something.
Yeah. Never find out what that is.
But it is brought up a few times
Yeah.
throughout the rest of the movie, so I feel like it should have been revealed at some point.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, it isn't. So
Yeah.
they get sucked underground, cut back to some people on the First Order Star Destroyers talking about some shit. I think it was more stuff about like trying to find the traitors or something like that.
Oh, wasn't that the business meeting where Kylo Ren chokes that dude on the ceiling?
Yeah.
Yeah, where they're all just talking normal tactics and what they should do, and Kylo Ren's just like, yeah, shut up.
Just
you're
shut the...
fine. It's like,
just-
but, well, nah. Okay.
Like, didn't the guy say something along the lines of like...
Recruitment, like getting more people, and
Like
then
the-
he gets choked.
Like they talked recruitment, and I think they said something along the lines that the guy said in episode 4, where it's like, oh yeah, like sorcery and soothsaying and shit, and Kylo's just like, on the ceiling with you, shut the fuck up.
No. He gets corrected by another one of the guys at the table who's like, sorcery and stuff. Do you see this fucking fleet?
Yeah.
Like, this shit's real, asshole. This
Yeah.
Sith fleet will save our asses, or defeat their asses, or whatever he says.
Yeah, and like one guy was being like, so like, what does the Emperor expect about this? And it was at some point during that argument, Kylo was just like, shut up, on the ceiling with you,
Right.
and just slams his ass up on the ceiling, and he's just like, shut up, we're going to find him, and everyone's like, okay.
I'm down.
Yeah. So, cut back to Desert Planet. They sink through the roof of some, like, weird tunnels or some shit. And they're like, oh, shit, like, where's everybody? But it's fine. Everyone's okay. And Rey whips out the lightsaber to give him some light. And then Poe very dramatically pulls out his flashlight.
Very tiny,
Click.
small flashlight.
Yeah. So they're wandering around through the tunnels, find the skeleton of the dead guy that Luke and Lando were looking for, and then meet a gigantic snake, which I thought was very cool looking. I would not mind one of those as a pet.
Yeah.
And the snake is just like chilling there with these bones, and the snake's like, fuck you guys doing in my den? And Rey's like, I have the Force. Nobody shoot this thing.
And then everyone else is like, we're definitely gonna shoot
Yeah,
this
like,
thing.
we're gonna fucking shoot the thing. Just shoot it, Finn. Shut up. So Rey goes over to the snake, sees that it's wounded, does some force healing on
Fillets
it.
it.
What?
Yes.
She fillets it.
fillets it.
This entire tale, yes.
Yeah, it's a porn now. So
it gets real Japanese real quick.
For only like 2 minutes though. It's weird.
Yeah.
It was a pretty hardcore porn for being like a big budget
PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
I don't know how they snuck all that shit in, but so she heals / fillets the big snake, and the snake's like,
Fillet the snake.
yeah, and the snake's like, all right, you're all right, kid. I'm out. And the snake just leaves and leaves them a nice opening to get out of the caverns. And they find the dagger.
It's literally a video game.
Yeah. So they find the dagger, and they're like, is this what we were looking for? And Ray gets some, like, weird Force echoes off of it, and she was like, terrible things, we're done with this dagger. Like, hardcore German porn things, we're done with this dagger. And they're like, there's writing on it. It looks like ancient Sith. 3PO, translate this. Yes, I understand this. I can't tell you what it says. And everyone's like, wait, what? The one time we need you to talk, you can't? And 3PO's like, well, it's a forbidden language, and I'm programmed to not ever translate those ever because New Republic bullshit. And they're like, fuck it, fine. So they go out.
Factory reset.
Yeah, so they go out, find the ship, the First Order shows up. Ray, for some fucking reason, just decides, I must go out there. And everyone's like, no, Ray, what are you doing? We gotta go! So the Knights of Ren show up. And Chewie hardcore fails a perception check when he follows her out. There's like 2 Knights of Ren, who look very cool, by the way. Like, just 20 feet off to his left.
Not even 20, maybe.
Yeah, like very close, just like right off to the side, and Chewie just does not fucking see them.
I mean, to be fair, he kind of just walks out and goes over there.
Yeah.
And with the way that Ray was acting, you'd think he would have just been like, something's up, I'll look around a bit more.
Yeah.
But they were in the middle of nowhere, so he probably just didn't think anything. Like, there's no one out here, and he just went.
Yeah.
But you would think he would have been a little bit more cautious and swiveled his head. When
Make him act like a person rather than Chewbacca.
Like, anytime I walk out of the door of my house, I look in both directions.
You never know if there's a weird dog in the yard. Or...
Yeah, I'm not hunted by the
First Order.
Yeah.
Which is,
So...
I'd look around for a fucking scorpion. A space scorpion.
Yeah.
Least.
Or another big snake.
Yeah.
So anyway...
Could be a mean big snake.
Yeah, so Chewie just rolls on out there and just gets captured. Like, Finn and Poe go outside the ship. We're like, we gotta go get him. And they whip out the binoculars like, shit, Chewie's been captured by the Knights of Ren. And he's getting loaded onto a transport. Rey is still just, like, out walking in the middle of a fucking barren desert. And Kylo comes swooping in his fucking sick-looking TIE fighter.
You want to see my dick in person?
Yeah, pretty much. Which also, quick shout-out to Kylo Ren. We actually got to see a little bit of his, like, badass piloting at the beginning of the movie when he was going to Excalibur. Yeah, so I was like, he's a Skywalker, but he's also Han Solo's kid. He knows how to fly.
Right.
So he comes swooping in. Rey does just the weirdest shit. Like, for some reason, turns her back to the charging fucking TIE fighter and, like, looks back over her shoulder. Okay, it's still coming. And then, like, starts running in the opposite direction and does some, actually a pretty cool flip where she slices off the TIE's wing. Yeah. Which, man, that crash should have just murdered Kylo.
Yeah, there's no reason he should have lived through that.
Yeah. It's like the wing comes off, the TIE fighter hits the ground, goes fucking rolling across the desert. Which, the bit I don't understand is turning your back to it. It's like, why would you do that? I mean, he could have just... Kylo, you could have shot her, man.
To make it more
he wasn't
like...
trying to kill her.
Yeah, I know.
Well, why is he fucking flying TIE fighter at full speed right at her then?
Probably expecting her to die.
I mean,
it's one of those things where you try to kill one of your best friends or one of the people you like because you know they're not going to get killed by it, so you try it anyway. You know, to kind of say hi.
Yeah.
Bit of a Vegeta-Goku relationship.
Yeah. Like, the Gallic gun was just a hello.
Yeah. So she slices the wing off the TIE fighter, goes rolling across the desert. She turns around, and they're like, Rey! Chewie's been captured! And she, like, looks up, sees the transport going off, and is just like, no! And force grabs it. And then Kylo, like a badass, comes just strolling on out of the wreckage with his helmet off, being like, bitch, please.
That's mine.
Yeah. So then he reaches up, also grabs the transport, and they're just having, like, a fucking force tug-of-war.
Did you see that poor dude on the turret on the outside
Yeah.
of the ship? Oh, God, imagine being that guy during that whole tug-of-war.
Just neither of them giving a fuck about the people inside of that transport at this point. So they're yanking it back and forth, and then Rey gives in and just fucking blasts it with Force lightning on accident. And it explodes, and she's like, "Oh fuck! I killed Chewie!"
Yeah, no, the way she screamed the name and like everyone's freaking out.
Chewie!
Okay, it's PG-13. This might actually be Chewie dead, maybe, possibly.
Yeah. So
He's not gonna
then,
get a big cinematic death like Han Solo, but this could be maybe. Oh
Yeah.
fuck! No.
so then Kylo's like, "Nice job."
They're like shit.
Okay. Yeah, no, that was some dark side shit right there. Like, nice job. You want to come hang out with me? And she's like, "No." And he's like,
Then he just lets her walk away.
yeah, and then she just leaves. And he's like, fucking whatever.
I'll go cry.
Yeah.
I want to see my dick again.
Yeah, no, she had, like, it was hanging out. She had the opportunity to blow it, and she didn't. So, damn. So they leave, thinking Chewie's dead, and then,
You could say she blew the opportunity.
yeah.
I thought that in my head, didn't say it because you had, and then you said it. You piece of shit.
So everybody leaves. Cut to, I think it was them in the ship. They're like, "Chewie's dead. Like, what do we do? Like, we just fucking lost Chewie."
Oh wait, he had the dagger with him. We're fucked.
Yeah, like, "Chewie had the dagger. What do we do now?" And 3PO's like, "I remember the dagger. It's in my memory banks." They're like, "Do you actually remember the writing on the dagger?" And he's like, "Of course I do. I speak 6.5 bajillion languages. Of course I can memorize one dagger. I just can't tell you about it. If only you had a way to get into my redacted memory banks." And then Poe's like, "I know a guy."
Which becomes probably my favorite side character in the whole movie.
Yeah, no, that's-
he's just silly and funny.
Yeah.
This little dude.
So they leave. A ship follows them. Cut to the Millennium Falcon getting towed onto the Star Destroyer. And they're like, "Yeah, so this is the ship that, the Scavenger was rolling around with Chewie in. Oh, and by the way, we got Chewie right over here. It was a different transport that got exploded."
Right.
And, like, I could feel the whole theater just go like, "Oh, thank God."
Right, yeah, everyone was just like, Chewie.
And they're like, "Huh, take him to interrogation room 6.
I kind of wasn't really. It was like, wow, did they really just kill Chewie like
Off
that?
screen.
Like, fucking. If that's actually his death, that's lame. But
Yeah.
I was pretty sure there was gonna be that he wasn't dead.
Yeah.
That he was on a different. But anyways.
Yeah. So they go onto the planet I'm going to call it not Camino because I think it was literally like Kamini or Komini or something like that. It was very close to Camino, but wasn't. So this planet is like completely under siege by the First Order, and they're all sneaking around and shit with... I thought it was hilarious that they put fucking C-3PO in like a giant oversized jacket, made him look like fucking Flack from Borderlands 3. And they meet Masked Lady. I think her name was Zori, something like that.
Or something like that.
Yeah. She just straight pulls a gun on Finn, or not Finn,
And
Poe.
it says some very not PG-13 things. And I was like, oh shit, that's
Yeah.
hardcore. You're gonna put your brains all over the snuff?
Yeah, so Poe is all like, "Zori, what's up, baby?" And she's like, "Shut the hell up, Poe. I'm gonna fucking kill you right now." And he's like, "Don't be like that. We need your help. And, like, I'm part of the Resistance, and it's all good." And she's like, "No, we're not all good. Did you tell your friends what you used to do, Poe? You used to be a fucking drug runner, Poe." And he's like, "You were a drug runner?" And he's like, "You were a stormtrooper? You were a scavenger? We could do this all day." Poe
That
had...
was pretty fucking good. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
Poe had some very snappy dialogue in this movie. So, Zori and Rey get into a scuffle. Ends up with Zori on the ground. She pulls a gun on Rey. Rey pulls a lightsaber on her. And Poe is like, "Zori, please, we are going to die!"
No, what did she say to Rey?
Yeah,
I know it doesn't matter, but I think you're okay.
Yeah, she's like,
It doesn't
it's
matter.
like, "I don't know you. I just met you. Doesn't matter. You're all right."
And she's like, no, it does matter.
"Thanks. Let me help you up. Please put the gun away." So they go to see Poe's old crew, and they meet the tiny little dude, Baba, blah, 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 started with a B.
Bo Gallet.
We're calling... What?
He's not Bo Gallet. Not even close. If you try to say that...
We'll just call him Bobby.
Yeah, no, if you try to say that character is Bo Gallet, I have one thing to say to you. Lies! Deceptions! Because I watched Rogue One the other day, so I've seen a lot of Saw Gerrera recently. Bo Gallet will get the truth from you. So they go and meet this tiny little dude, like, smaller than C-3PO's head. And he is just, like, the happiest-go-luckiest character in this entire movie. He's so cute and just good. And they're like...
An old man, wispy beard.
Yeah, it's like, can you break into this droid's brain? And he's like, yeah, I got this. So, you get the semi-sad scene of 3PO being like, look, if you get into, like, to get into my shit, you're gonna have to completely wipe my memory afterwards.
Factory reset.
Yeah. And he stands up and has a look around there, and Poe is like, 3PO, like, what you doing there, pal? And 3PO's just like, taking one last look around at my friends.
And I was like, oh. Fuck, that does suck.
That was in all the trailers.
Yeah.
I didn't see any. I only saw not that in the trailer, at least.
Yeah. So they break into a 3PO's brain, and he gets the creepy red eyes and gives them the translation of the dagger. And I thought he was just going to be like a dead husk after that. No, they only deleted his memories, not his personality, thank God.
Right.
So he was still 3PO, but he was
like
just
when we
like
first met him 40-something years ago.
yeah, he was just back to being old 3PO, and yeah, he wakes back up and is like, oh, hello, I am C-3PO, human cyborg relations. Who are you? And everyone's like, that's a problem. We gotta go. So Rey senses Chewie on the ship that is currently orbiting like above the city, and she's like, Chewie's up there, and instantly everyone's like, we gotta go get his ass. So Zori pulls out like the First Order captain's badge thing, and she's like, oh wait, no, before that she has like a little moment with Poe where she's like, you know, like, I missed you, you could always come back. And then Poe's like, you could always come with us, like, we need all the help we can get. And she's like, nah, I'm just gonna go like hang out on the far colonies while all this is going on. I don't want to be part of this shit. And then Poe's like, well, how the hell are you gonna get there? And she's like, well, bam, captain's badge, plot device. And he's like, oh,
I've never seen one of those.
yeah, I never seen one of those in person. How'd you get that? And she's like, don't worry about it. And like puts it away. And then she ends up giving him the badge so they can sneak onto the Star Destroyer. The sky garbage, Zori, fuck you. Anyway, so they go onto the ship, and Rey's like, all right, you guys go get Chewie. I gotta go get the dagger. And they're like, why? We have the fuck it, doesn't matter, let's go. So Finn and Poe run off to go get Chewie. Rey goes to Kylo's quarters to get the dagger and has another force FaceTime with Kylo, who's now down on the planet looking for them. And he's like, where the fuck are you, Rey? I know you're close. What the fuck? Just come hang out with me. We'll be bros. And
Just Netflix and chill already.
yeah. And then Rey's like, I'm never going to join you, Kylo. And they get into like a weird, like, cross time and dimension lightsaber battle.
Yeah,
and
it gets real metaphysical.
Yeah, and she ends up knocking over the display stand that has Vader's helmet on it, which then falls to where Kylo is across time, and Kylo's like, she's in my fucking bedroom. Lock down the ship! So they get a running gun battle. Stormtroopers, still not good shots, except for the one that manages to get Poe in the arm.
Right.
So they end up getting captured, kind of. They get vaguely captured, and then
well, I mean, they get full on captured.
Yeah, they get full on captured, and then Brindle Hux shows up and is like, "Man, I'm going to kill these guys myself. Stormtrooper, give me your blaster." And the Stormtrooper's like, "Okay." So then they get the bit where it's like, "Hey Finn, what were you gonna tell Rey? Do we have to do this now?
This is not a good time.
This is not a good time. Well, when is a good time? Later? We're gonna be dead later." You hear the guns go off, and Brindle Hux had gunned down the 3 stormtroopers. He's like, I'm the spy, come with me. And they're like, you? What? So he leads them back to the hangar where the Falcon and the other ships are, and he's like, Finn, shoot me in the arm. And Finn's like, wait, what? It's like, look, man, like, they're gonna think I'm the spy, which I am, if you don't shoot me in the arm. So Finn just shoots him in the leg.
Why are you helping us?
I don't care if you win, I just care that Kylo Ren loses. Which, okay.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Fucking fair enough, man. So they end up escaping. Kylo has a moment with Rey where he's like, I seen that dark side shit you did. I know what's up, girl. Like, roll with me and we'll kill the Emperor together. And she's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And then she's like, backs up to like the very edge of the docking bay where she could very conceivably fall to her death. And the Falcon pops up and blasts everybody with the engines, except Kylo, who braces himself, and Rey, who just stands there?
Yeah.
Don't you know that the Millennium Falcon runs on the light side of the Force, so she's unaffected? Yeah, no, it's bullshit.
Yeah, so she gets on the Falcon, and they peace out, and Kylo's like, God damn it.
She's never gonna touch my dick.
She's never gonna touch my dick. This is fucked, man. So they leave, and they don't go back to... Do they go back to base first? Or do they just go straight where the dagger told them to?
I don't remember. Shit.
I think they just went straight to where the dagger told them to go.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, which was back to the forest moon of Endor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, go back to Endor. The fucking Sith Wayfinder is there. And they're like, all right, so they go there, and the Falcon's all fucked up, and they just straight just crash land the Falcon, which hurt me to my soul to see that happen.
Yeah.
So,
Falky.
so they get there, and some I don't even know what to call them, like natives, raiders, planet people.
Oh, they're deserters. They're like all stormtrooper deserters.
Yeah, but we don't know that at the time. These people just show up on like kind of like they looked and sounded like swamp tauntauns to me, even though they had 4 legs, but
vaguely alienish, 4 hoofed-legged things.
yeah. So these people show up.
Horses.
Yeah.
Space horses.
Yeah, these people show up and they're like, "What are you guys doing here?" And then the crew is like, "What are you doing here?" And they're like, "We live here. What are you doing here?" And they're like, "Oh, we gotta go over to the wreck of the second Death Star over there and get something out of it." And they're like, "Have you seen the fucking waves out there? You can't go over there right now. Like, wait till morning." And they're like, "We can't wait till morning."
I guess we're waiting till morning.
Yeah, fuck it. We'll fix the Falcon and go over there later. So then Rey just straight steals a boat from somewhere.
Which is a repurposed X-Wing.
Yeah. So she's out there like surfing on the waves, and they're like, "Rey, you stupid bitch, what are you doing?"
That wave's really big.
Yeah. So she manages to get to the wreck of the second Death Star, starts climbing all up in that shit, and makes her way to the throne room where Palpatine, Vader, and Luke were hanging out. And you got the really cool, ominous music from Return of the Jedi. It was really cool. And she's like, "All right, I'm here now." And then suddenly, psh, door opens off to the left. How did that door still have power? I don't know. Just don't ask questions. You ask too many questions, you're not going to like this movie.
Yeah.
So she goes in there and has an encounter with her dark side self, who was wielding the fucking ridiculous switchblade lightsaber.
Yeah, which, God.
Looks cool, but in practice, what the fuck is with that lightsaber?
Oh, you can trap other lightsaber
Yeah.
blades.
Well, I could just turn it off and turn it back on. Again,
It's cool. Shut up. Don't think about it.
yeah, don't ask too many questions. Shut the fuck up. So she has an encounter with herself. Herself kicks herself's ass. And she gets her hands on the Wayfinder for all of like 5 seconds. And then she drops it when she gets booted out of the room. And then Kylo shows up and grabs it and was like, "Oh, you wanted this thing? The only way you're getting to Excalibur is if you come with me." And then just straight breaks the Wayfinder. And she's like, "No!" And they start fighting. And it was a pretty cool fight with him, like, jumping all over the waves and shit like that.
Yeah, it was pretty dope.
Yeah.
And then Kylo proceeded to just whoop Rey's ass, which made me so happy to see.
Oh, wait, I wouldn't even say whoop her ass. More like wore her down.
I mean, still, he definitely had the upper hand at the end.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't think he was going to kill her. He wanted to tap that too much.
Oh, yeah, he obviously wasn't going to kill her.
Yeah, but he just...
Knock her out and rape her, maybe. But
Yeah,
Well-
like, get her nice and tired so she can't run.
Yeah. So he beats her down, and then cut back to Rebel Base Planet, where Leia like senses what's going on, and little bartender lady Maz Kanata is there, and she like knows what's about to happen. She's like, "Yep, nope, Leia is going to sacrifice all of her life energy to get through to her son." And then like you see Leia laying down on her what turns out to be her deathbed, and then cut back to Rey and Kylo, and you just hear like that whispering of like "Ben," and Kylo like stops and is like looking around like
Not even just stops and looks around. He basically just like freezes, drops his lightsaber, looks,
Yeah.
and then
and
gets
and then Rey cheap shots him right in the gut with her lightsaber.
lung.
Was it the lung?
Yeah, it was like the chest off to the side.
Okay, well, torso shot is
Only because he started breathing after she started healing him. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was a lung shot. You definitely would have been fucked.
yeah. So she stabs him. He goes down, and then you see the final shot of Leia when she finally passes away, and both Rey and Kylo sense it at like the same time. Also a very sad moment. Yeah. Where I really, it wouldn't have worked in the film, but I really wanted, Rey to look at Kylo and be like, look, man, all bullshit aside, I'm really sorry you just lost your mom.
Right, just, right in the middle of the fight, was that your mother?
Yeah. So, anyway, Kylo's there, he's all heartbroken and shit, Rey's all heartbroken, and she reaches over and force heals Kylo's wounds, and, then just kind of gets up and leaves.
No. They have a small talk right before that. She tells him that he can come back with her, and then it's too late. And it's like Ben, blah blah blah. And Ben Solo is dead, and it's like no, Kylo Ren is dead.
No, we didn't get there quite yet.
Wait, I thought that was right before he left. Or she left. I mean.
No, I don't actually remember them saying it. Oh no, she says, "You're right. I wanted to take your hand."
Oh yeah,
Ben's hand.
Yeah, I skipped a little bit.
Yeah. So she.
Oh, well, we already said spoiler alerts.
Yeah. So she hops in Kylo's TIE fighter and just pieces out without her crew. And also Finn and Finn's new girlfriend were there, and he was like, Rey, what are you doing? Don't do it, Rey. And then she just pieces out and leaves. Just leaves his ass on the planet. And then she leaves, and then fucking Poe and Finn and their new friends all... I think did they all leave on the Falcon, or did they leave the people on the planet? No, they all left on the Falcon.
Yeah.
So then Finn and his new girl have a conversation. She's like, yeah, so we were all deserters and shit. And Finn's like, no way, me too. Did we just become best friends?
Right.
And they introduce themselves with their stormtrooper numbers. And the girl's like, yeah, no, we were ordered to gun down civilians, and our entire battalion was just
individually decided not to. Not a plan.
Yeah.
They all just refused.
Yeah, just all at the same time. We're just we ain't doing that shit. So then they hijacked a ship, left, and crash landed on Endor. And then Finn's like, wow, shit. Damn, the Force led me to Poe and Rey. The Force led me here. And this girl's like, the Force, is that even real? And Finn was like,
oh boy.
He's like, I wasn't sure for a long time, but then I seen some shit. Yeah, it's real. Yeah. So then we see a nice little scene where Kylo is standing on the wreckage of the second Death Star, and then from behind him you just hear, hey, kid. And then he turns around and he sees Han Solo standing there, and he's like, you're dead. You're not even real.
You're just a memory.
Yeah, you're just a memory. My memory. And Han's like, yeah, but at the same time,
when it comes to the Force, am I really just a memory?
Yeah.
He doesn't say that, but it's he kind of gives the little head to really, I'm just a memory.
Yeah, if there was any argument for Han being Force sensitive, this scene right here is probably the deciding factor.
His what was it called? The Kessel Space Run under something 0.1 parsecs or whatever. Yeah, that pretty much makes me think he's slightly Force sensitive. His piloting abilities anyway. It's pretty much confirmed that all extremely skilled pilots in the Star Wars universe are slightly Force sensitive, but not enough to be contacted by the Jedi.
Yeah. So anyway, he's like, Ben, my boy.
Ben 10.
You know what you need to do, man. You know how this has to end. And then they...
I know, Dad, but I don't know if I have the strength.
Yeah, they completely recreate the scene from The Force Awakens where he's like, I'm not strong enough. I know what I have to do, but I don't have the strength to do it. And then they, get, right up in each other's face, do the whole thing where Han touches Ben's face and is like, you're strong enough, kid. Don't worry about it. So then Kylo Ren just turns around and fucking chucks his lightsaber into the ocean. And then he turns back and Han's gone. So he's like, well, fuck, my dad's gone, and I just pitched my lightsaber. What the hell do I do now?
Fuck, I thought he was going to be there when he turned around for more advice. Shit!
Yeah. So then cut to...
Shouldn't have done that, kid.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you to throw your lightsaber away, dude. I said go help Ren, but
yeah, you're gonna need that, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah. So then cut to Rey goes back to the planet where she was training with Luke, and she just straight up lit Kylo Ren's TIE fighter on fire. She's like, I'm done. I'm staying on this planet forever. I'm not getting involved in any more shit. And then she tries to throw Luke's lightsaber into the fire, and Luke's ghostly hand reaches out and catches the lightsaber, and he Force Ghost walks his way out of the wreckage. He's like, Rey, what are you doing? The weapon of a Jedi deserves more respect than that. And basically, shits on her for a little bit. And then, he has a nice Yoda-esque, or not Yoda-esque, Ben Kenobi-esque Force Ghost sit down with Rey. And Rey, he's like, Rey, what's going on, girl? Like, what are you
so scared of?
What are you doing? What are you so scared of? And she's like, I'm scared of myself because I had a vision of myself, like, sitting on the throne of the Sith. And then Luke's like, hey, look, you know, you got, like, choices and shit. This is your fight. Like, all the Ghost Jedi have your back, but you got to be the one to end this. And she's like, well, I just, like, burned my TIE fighter. I don't even have a way to leave the planet anymore. And then he's like, Rey, you've got everything you need. And then she goes back to the wreckage and pulls out the Sith Wayfinder that Kylo Ren had been using to get to Excalibur. And she's like, oh, well, okay, cool. And then Luke, in a very, very nice callback to Empire Strikes Back, actually manages to finally raise his X-Wing out of where he sank it and be like, here, girl, have my car.
It's a little wet, but it'll work.
Yep. No, because, Incom T-65 X-Wings, those things are built to last. He's like, yep, here you go. And also, Rey, as cool as you've managed to be through this whole fucking movie, you do not deserve to wear Luke Skywalker's helmet. You don't. I'm sorry, I had issues with that. Shame on you. Nobody will ever be as cool as Luke Skywalker. Sorry, it's just the way it is.
Well, Han Solo, but, you know.
Mace Windu.
I mean, both cool in completely different versions. Different ways. Whatever.
I wonder how fucking much Harrison Ford hated his brief moment in this movie. You know it must have been a lot. Because, what was it, The Force Awakens? Like, my last Star Wars movie, fuck Han Solo. And then shows up again.
He looked like he was doing alright. You can usually tell when an actor is angry about doing a scene, but he seemed alright with this. I mean,
Han Solo seemed alright in every single Star Wars movie, and he hated it every single time.
Yeah. Whatever. I'm sure it was fine.
Right.
So, anyway, Rey hops in the X-Wing, plugs in the Wayfinder, goes on her merry way to Excalibur, and then back when the other crew gets back to the fucking rebel planet, and they go, like, charging in, and everyone's like, whoa, guys, something really important happened, and Poe's like, shut up, doesn't matter, I gotta talk to the general, and they're like, dude, the general's dead. And then Chewie just has the most heartbreaking temper tantrum.
Not even a temper tantrum. He's sitting down. He doesn't even get up. Just screaming and all sad. I've never been more sad to hear a Wookiee make noise.
Yeah, I think that probably tops it for, like, saddest part of the fucking movie was Chewie's breakdown.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't like when Han Solo died where he was pissed. This was just grief. The first time you really hear Chewbacca go griefy.
Yeah, no, it was... I got a bit misty-eyed, I'm not gonna lie.
I was like, shut up, Chewie. I'm not gonna cry at a Star Wars movie. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So, Leia, before passing away, had named Poe acting general, and he has, like, a nice sit-down where her...
It wasn't a Poe choice.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, anyway, he has a sit-down next to Leia's shrouded corpse, and he's like, I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, I'm not ready for this shit. And then this scene kind of confused me because I didn't get what was going on, but the new little droid they picked up, Mr. Wheelie Boy, Dio, was fucking around in a toolbox, and Finn was like, hey, stop messing with that. That's my friends. And I didn't understand that particular scene until literally the last shot of the movie. But, so anyway, they're like, yeah, like, fuck, man, like, the Resistance is sunk without, like, Rey, without Leia, like, we don't know what the fuck we're gonna do. And they're like, hey, guys, we're getting a transmission from Luke Skywalker's X-Wing, and everyone's like, wait, what?
No, at first they just say, we're getting a message from Luke Skywalker. And they're like, wait, what? No, his X-Wing is flying. Okay.
Yeah. No. Oops. God damn it. Shit. Fuck. Yeah. Sorry about that. So, then they figure out, like, oh, shit, it's Rey, and she's, like, guiding us to the secret Sith planet. And they're like, all right, cool, like, everybody load up. We gotta go do what we're gonna do. And, they're all like, how? Like, we can't take on the fucking Dark Fleet. And, everyone's like, we don't have the numbers. And then, fucking good old Lando shows up again. Is like, hey, guys, I'm here. What are we gonna do? And they're like, all right, everybody but Lando and Chewie are gonna go to the Sith planet. Lando and Chewie are gonna go to the core worlds, and they're gonna put out a call for help to anybody who will listen.
best choice. That's like sending Mr. Satan to get everyone's fucking spiritual energy. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah, put your hands in the air.
And just Lando Calrissian's like, hey guys, it's me, and the whole galaxy's like, fucking Lando.
Yep.
We got a bit of a problem.
Yeah, no. If anybody has the charisma score to pull that off, it's Lando.
Oh yeah, his natural charisma is 21. He can't even fail a roll.
Yeah, no, it's literally impossible. He's got proficiency in all fucking charisma scores. So they go off to follow Rey. Rey gets to the planet, goes into the creepy ass Sith temple, which, man, that planet on the whole is just fucking creepy as shit.
Oh, it's so cool. Though.
Yeah, that might be my favorite.
That's what I gotta say. If you don't like the story of this movie, you're gonna be blown away by how cool shit looks.
Yeah. So she rolls in, and Palpy's all like, "Hello, Rey. What are you doing here? Have you come to kill me, or are you going to join me?" Blah, blah, blah. And then Rey's like, "I'm here, and I still don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do." And
I really want to kill you.
like, "Oh, I want to kill you." But he's like, "Yes, I've been waiting for you, because guess what, Rey?
Killing me is joining me.
Yes, you are a Palpatine, Rey. Your parents were. Your father was my son. You're my granddaughter.
And your mother was Lord Vader's whatever.
Side bitch."
Something like that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that...
Raise a Palpatine, what you gonna do?
Yeah, that answers a lot of questions like, how can Rey be doing all this Force bullshit? I'm like, well, she's the grandchild of the single most powerful Force user in existence.
Yeah, okay, that kind of erases a lot of my criticism for the very first movie. But it's bullshit that you have to wait years and for the final movie to find out that the first movie isn't bullshit for no reason.
Yeah. So Palpy's all like, yeah, so I'm gonna kill you, and then my spirit is going to go into you, and we shall become one. We shall do a fusion, ha! And then all the Sith Lords over all of history will be conglomerated into you, and you will be Empress Palpatine.
And then all 10 bajillion of his cultists suddenly start moving, and you realize those aren't walls, those are hooded people.
Yeah, no, real creepy ass congregation
Those
you
are
had.
the zombie midgets from Phantasm.
Pretty much. Don't worry about it. Phantasm last night.
Yeah, no, Phantasm's great, but yeah. So Rey's like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, fuck you. And then Palpy's like, oh look, it's like Return of the Jedi. Your friends have shown up. And then he like opens the big fucking sunroof on the temple, and the Rebel Alliance had showed up and was just getting their asses kicked by the Dark Fleet.
Their whole plan, they sent out the message.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're hoping people would show up if there was a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
But they weren't showing up.
Yeah, they weren't showing up. So the Dark Fleet, which...
And you skipped over the part where they were trying to destroy, like, the navigation shit so the ships could leave.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big plot point.
Yeah, so, like...
Well, and then they just... the Empire just is like, yeah, fuck it, just shut that thing down. We'll have this ship be the navigation thing.
Yeah, because of atmospheric blah, blah, blah science bullshit, like... Ships couldn't really...
The electrical storms.
Yeah, ships couldn't leave atmosphere because, like, their sensors literally didn't know which way was up. But they're like, we have a beacon for that. And the Rebel Alliance like, hey, we should just trash that beacon. And then they're just like...
Oh, they're going for the beacon. Turn it off.
Yeah, just shut that shit down and we'll have the fucking command ship be the beacon. And everyone's just like, yeah, all right, cool.
Yeah, sounds good.
So then the Rebel Alliance is like, oh, fuck, what are we gonna do? And they're just getting fucking ripped to pieces, which also the forces they brought with them... had the ship the Ghost from Star Wars Rebels in it. So, cool. I liked that. That was good. So they were getting all fucked up, and then, was it before or after Palpy does the unlimited power that the rest of the ships show?
It was after, and also the Ghost was with the other ships that showed up.
Was it? Oh, okay. Alright. So, anyway, so... Kylo Ren gets back onto the planet. He's running through the temple, and
just like normal clothes, no lightsaber. It's really weird seeing him like that. He's just like a dude running into a cave.
Yeah. So he rolls in, and then his former homies, the Knights of Ren, are like, "What up, Kylo?"
And he's like, fuck.
Shit.
I treated you guys really roughly the entire time. Oh, no.
God damn it, you guys are gonna kick my ass now. Which they did start kicking his ass, and then Rey, like, all the people are dying, and Rey's like, alright, fine, like, I'll fucking do what Palpatine wants in order to save my friends. So she pulls out her lightsaber, and then Palpatine's like, yes! She pulls her lightsaber. She steps forward. She prepares to strike me down.
She winds up an arm.
Yeah.
And then just keeps going.
Yeah, puts the saber behind her back, has another Force FaceTime with Kylo Ren.
She's like, show me your dick.
Yeah, and Kylo's like, yeah.
He gets the lightsaber, and just the little shrug he gives to the lightsaber. They're all like, fuck, and he's like,
yeah. So she emails the lightsaber to she texts the lightsaber to Kylo Ren, and he pulls it out from behind his back, and the knives run all back up, and he's like, "Yeah, let's do this shit."
No, he doesn't even do that. He just goes like a.
Yeah, just come on.
Yeah, I got a lightsaber now. Sorry, guys. No.
And then he kills all the Knights of Ren,
Yeah.
just by himself. And then Palpatine's like, "Fuck! Oh no! Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal!" And then Kylo runs in, and he's like, "Yes, 2 Jedis, a dyad in the Force. This is a rare thing, but it was my plan all along, so I'm going to suck out your life force." So he pulls like Force energy,
The living Force.
yeah,
Woman.
the living Force out of Kylo and Rey, and he's like,
Thanks to my book, I know the difference now.
"Yep." He's like, "Yes, this is what I was doing all along." And then
Kind of heals when he does it.
yeah, he like kind like
He's
he's
like missing part of a finger and stuff.
Yeah, he was all
flesh is melted off his bones, and you can see like his finger bones.
yeah,
and
he
shit.
was all fucked up, and then he just goes and heals, and then he's like, "I've been waiting 30 years for this unlimited power!" And he just shoots Force lightning into
Dude,
the sky.
The sound effect from that lightning when it started, I was like, "Oh fuck!" I thought he was just gonna. Oh god, I was just.
Yeah,
Dude,
no,
the sound effect almost made it.
that was dubstep lightning, like bass boosted to shit Force lightning, and just starts ripping the entire like Rebel forces apart.
I imagine that's the normal lightning for Palpatine in Legends.
I mean, Palpatine has done that exact thing in Legends. It's called a Force Maelstrom.
That didn't even look anything close to the power of a Force Maelstrom. It looked like he was just using Force lightning on hundreds of different ships at the same time.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought a Maelstrom was literally like a planet-wide dark storm type thing.
I'd have to reread this
Yeah,
shit.
don't worry about it. Keep going,
But
sorry.
point is, in Legends, yes, he has wiped out entire fleets on his Force power alone.
Yeah.
So he's just like wrecking all the shit, like all.
Not even destroying them, just shutting off their systems.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, so basically just a big ion blast. So then Poe's like, "Shit, like I've lost flight controls. Guys, I'm so sorry. I fucked up. I really thought we had a chance." And then on the radio is like, "But hey, Poe, there's always more of us." And then the fucking Calrissian rolls in.
Poe was like, "Yeah, I thought we had a chance. There's just too many of them." And
Yeah.
Yeah, Lando's like,
"There's always more of us."
yeah.
And comes in with just a ragtag fleet of misfits. And they're like,
Not even
Right,
just
a
misfits, just
shitload of
people.
them.
yeah, just people.
In their personal ships.
Yep. He's like, "Hey, guys, like, start targeting those planet-destroying lasers on the bottom of the Star Destroyer, and we can probably set off their reactors." And everyone's like, "Okay, Lando!"
And I was like, yeah, I am the shit.
Yeah. So they start wrecking the fleet, and Palpy is like, "Well, shit, my plans didn't account for Lando fucking Calrissian."
Basically. He's
So
like,
then-
shit.
Yeah, so then Rey and Kylo, or I guess I should start calling him Ben at this point,
Yeah.
get back up, and they're like, "Yeah, we're about to kick Palpatine's ass." And Palpatine's like, "No, you're fucking not. Get out of here." And just force pushes Kylo out of the fucking movie.
Oh, he gives a cool little little thing. He says a thing, something about like a just like last time or something, like or the way
Oh,
he
yeah,
threw
it's
me
like-
down he threw me off, or she says something calling back to what Darth Vader did to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he pieced Kylo out of the movie. Rey gets back up and is gonna fight him. And he's like,
No. Before he throws Kylo, he says it to Kylo, then throws him.
"What?"
Something like, "This is gonna be the end of Skywalker, the way he ended me," or something.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
no, he's like,
yeah, that's the little thing.
yeah, it's like something along the lines of like, "When your grandfather fought me, his father had to come save him, but you have no family here," and just poof, kicks him
Also-
down a pit.
He force pushes Kylo down. He also says that to Rey, not Kylo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
I think you missed the quote I'm talking about, maybe.
He force pushes Kylo down a pit. And
Yeah.
it's like, Palpy, you of all people should know that falling down a pit doesn't mean someone's dead.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
tried to do to
Luke survived it.
yeah, he tried to do to Ben
Maul survived
what
it.
Palpatine survived it.
Yeah.
Darth Maul survived. Sorry.
yeah, no, he tried to do to Ben what Thanos did to Captain Marvel and just punched her out of the movie.
Except Ben came back.
He did. A little bit too late, but yes. So kicks Kylo out of the movie temporarily, and he's like, "Rey, like, we will fight now." And Rey's like, starts hearing
That's what he
voice.
says. That's a direct dialogue from the movie. He
Yes.
says, Rey, we will fight now.
"We will fight now." Yeah, so
She said, "Let us commence," and then they slapped.
yes. So Rey starts hearing a bunch of voices. I managed to pick out Yoda, Ben Kenobi, Luke, Mace Windu, and I think maybe a few other old Jedi were like talking to her.
Yeah, it was like a bunch of the like Jedi that most people think about, and then like some just generic voices signifying other Jedi.
Yeah, and they're like, "We got your back, Rey."
And
like,
Yoda, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's like never alone you are. Which going back to like
the Yodster.
yeah, like going back to what she was trying to do at the beginning of the movie to contact the Jedi spirits, but like, hey, like we got your back now. Don't worry about it. So she gets up, pulls out her lightsaber, and then Leia's lightsaber, which who gave her Leia's lightsaber? Was it
Leia?
No, it wasn't Leia. It was after Leia was dead.
Luke.
Was it Luke?
Oh yeah, my sister would want you to have this.
Yeah, and you get like a little shot of them like training on Endor, like way back in the day.
Yeah.
So
Luke and Leia.
yeah, so she has Luke and Leia's lightsaber. Palpy tries to unlimited power her ass. She blocks it with one, and then she's like, ah, shit, I can't hold it. Oh, hey, Kylo dropped his lightsaber over there. Whoop! Force grab. Then she blocks it with two lightsabers, and Palpy's like, I never counted on two lightsabers. Ah!
And gets sufficiently fried by his own lightning.
Oh, yeah.
Mace Windu was hoping for it.
Yeah.
The entire time, it was just like, stop doing the lightning, man.
Yeah.
Like, can you really not stop? Like, can you only stop when they're dead? And he's just like, yes, this is the one thing I didn't get.
Yeah. I think they were going for a whole symbolism thing there. Like, she had Luke and Leia's lightsabers, so I guess it was, like, kind of Luke and Leia both protecting her from, like, beyond the grave.
Basically, the Skywalkers ended him again.
Yeah, pretty much.
The
So,
Skywalkers proved to be his ultimate defeat
Yeah.
in his initial defeat.
and somehow she, like, uses up all of her force power during this
Her
fight.
living force.
Her living force, and,
Because he sucked most of it out already, remember?
yeah, so Palpy gets fried by Palpy, which, you know, I'm gonna go out and say it's really true. The only thing that can kill a Palpatine is a Palpatine.
Or Palpatine's own lightning.
Yeah, I mean, so Palpatine, like
So Palpatine killed.
Granddaddy Palpatine got killed by
Granddaddy's Palpatine. Lightning.
Granddaddy Palpatine got fried by Granddaddy Palpatine's lightning, which was reflected by Granddaughter Palpatine. So literally takes a Palpatine
Using
to kill
Skywalker's lightsabers, know the irony.
Yeah, so you know it takes a Palpy to kill a Palpy.
Yeah.
So she ends up falling over dead.
She's dead for the long time, too. Like,
Yeah.
I legit thought, I was like, man, is Ben going to actually be the survivor of this whole thing?
That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah, because it was like a solid 60, maybe longer seconds of her lifeless, eyes open body.
Yeah.
It was really, it went on for a while before.
Yeah. So Ben crawls back up out of the pit, sees Rey dead, and is like, shit, Rey! And like goes and like cradles her for a minute. Yeah,
stumbles her for like a solid 15 seconds.
Yeah, like he was all fucked up from that climb back up. He was cramping something fierce.
Yeah.
So he picks her up and he's like, shit, wait, I'm a Jedi now. I could probably heal her. So he force heals her ass. She wakes back up. They share a moment. They kiss. And what literally happened in the theater when they kissed was I looked at Noodle and said, man, do you know how fucking powerful their kids are going to be?
And
then
he
Ben
just drops dead.
Then Ben dies and just force ghosts out. And he's like, oh.
Ah.
Well, shit, that took that off the table, didn't it?
Yeah, real quick. Shit.
Yeah, I was like, damn, like, that happened real fucking fast, didn't it? So, Ben dies, real sad. Kind of wanted, I kind of wanted Rey to die and end the Palpatine line, but didn't.
Yeah.
So, she goes outside, sees everyone being all, like, happy and shit, hops, like, the Dark Fleet's falling apart. Everyone goes back to fucking Rebel Base Planet, and it's like, yeah, like, everybody's happy, and Chewie's literally in the background just going like, like a fucking...
Oh, wait, who gives Chewie the medal?
Oh, Maz Kanata.
Yeah, the bitch who gives Rey Luke's lightsaber in the first movie.
Oh, yeah.
The little alien
Looks way
thing.
better with her goggles on, by the way. I was really hoping she'd keep wearing them. No, she does not.
But yeah, Chewie's like straight up doing a Tusken Raider in the background, like, kind of thing. Everyone's all happy. People are like making out and shit. Lando like sits down.
Random people too are just straight up just making. It's like the end of World War II on the streets of New York. People are just fucking making out with each other.
Yep. So Lando has a nice sit down with Finn's new girlfriend, and he's like, "Hey, I'm Lando," and she's like, "Oh, cool. Where are you from?" He's like, "Oh, I'm from like the Bespin system," and he's like, "Where are you from?" And he's like, "I don't know." He's like, "You want to find out?" Like
spin-off movie.
Like, man, like I don't know if Billy D's charisma is so high. I don't know if that was a scene of like the formation of a father-daughter relationship or like, hey, you want to fuck?
Yeah. I choose to think it's the second one.
I choose to think it's both. he's genuinely that good, but also wants some of that booty.
Yeah.
On the way to your home.
Hey, we got like 3 days travel time, you know? Take the long way around, make it 5. So then, Poe and Finn and Rey all have like a nice group hug. And, then, finally, Maz Kanata walks up to Chewie and he's like, you should have this, and gives him the fucking medal he should have gotten at the end of episode 4.
She says something like this. She's like, you... I don't know. Something
Didn't
about
she say you deserved this instead of you deserve?
Yeah.
Something.
It's like, yay, he finally got his fucking medal. All right.
Yeah.
And then...
That was probably the most noise I've heard out of the crowd.
Yeah.
It was just like a few other people were like, yeah.
Yeah, finally. So then Rey goes to Tatooine, visits Luke's ancestral home, which the bones of Owen and Beru seem to be long gone at this point. I'm going to assume taken by Jawas, because they scavenge fucking everything.
I mean, more likely than not buried in the sand.
Well,
but,
yeah.
You know.
But, yeah, she's
hopefully
there.
Hopefully the Jawa King is wearing old Aunt Beru's skull as a crown.
Yeah. So then she's wandering around in Luke's old home, and she buries Luke and Leia's lightsabers in the sand, and I'm like
no, really buries
yeah,
the force
like
powers,
fucking,
not like makes a little hole and then cut. No, like
like
Minecraft. Well, no, you look down, it's like Minecraft digging down, sinking. Like it's going way the fuck down.
Yeah, shit. I mean, it might be hitting the core at this point.
Okay,
but
not that much. Back it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna be buried in the Nether.
No one's fucking finding it, basically.
Yeah. So then she pulls out her own lightsaber.
Except for the lady that watched her do it.
Well, yeah.
Well, she'll probably be dead before she has the
chance to dig it out.
Yeah.
Because it went deep. So then Rey pulls out her own lightsaber, which really confused me.
Yeah, which kind of came out of... Did I miss a whole thing? Why?
Yes, you did. I figured it out as we were walking out of the theater. Back when they were like right after Leia died and they got back to Rebel Base, the new droid Dio was like digging in a toolbox.
Which is Wheelie Boy.
Yeah,
earlier.
Wheelie Boy. Yeah, so he was digging in a toolbox, and Finn was like, hey, leave that alone, that's my friend's. And I'm 99% sure I saw some of the components for that lightsaber in that toolbox.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
But it was a real quick shot, so I'm going to be paying special attention when I go watch this movie again with my wife for that particular scene.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that's what that was about.
Yellow, bulky-looking lightsaber.
Yeah, it looked really fucking cool, and it
looked like a double-sided lightsaber.
It might have been.
Because it had a really long handle and like another similar round thing at the bottom as it did at the top. It looked like a double-ended lightsaber.
Yeah, but it was yellow, which is the first one we've seen in the actual movies.
Yes.
Like, they're all over the place in, like, the games and cartoons and shit like that.
And stuff. Which apparently, the Jedi Sentinels, the ones that all the rest of the Jedi think are weird for liking tech and all this other stuff so much.
Yeah.
Like, most Sentinels have yellow lightsabers. Green
Doesn't
and
it
blue.
signify, like, knowledge or something like that? I feel like I saw a chart of what they're supposed to say.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, the ones that I saw wielding it, like the most important one was, I think it was Rebels season, like the tail end of season 1 or like somewhere in season 2. Ezra and Kanan go to like this old Jedi temple to do some like trials or some shit, and they get confronted with like the Force ghost of the first Inquisitor guy that you see in the show. Used to be a Jedi Temple Guardian, and he had one of the folding dual-bladed lightsabers, which was yellow.
Yes, because Sentinels are also guards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know that. But it was like,
Well,
yeah.
That was for the audience.
Yeah, okay, well, sorry, but yeah.
Andy, you fucking idiot. Sentinels are also guards.
Yeah.
God damn it, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking
I did
keep
not
up.
know this from the book you gave me.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so like the Temple Guards pretty much exclusively used yellow lightsabers, so I mean, that was cool, but it's the first one we've actually seen in the movies. And then this old woman was like, just shows up out of fucking nowhere and is like, ah, there's somebody here. It's
After
been
the longest time.
It's been so long. Who are you? And she's like, I'm Rey. And then she's like, oh, Rey who? And then like,
I was gonna be like Rey Palpatine.
yeah, I was.
Yeah.
And like real long pause. Then she looks over and sees the Force ghosts of Luke and Leia, and she's like, I'm Rey Skywalker.
I'm gonna poop now.
Okay, you go poop. Yeah. So
But also, real quick, you can go poop. It's fine. Not you. And I lost it after I said poop.
Oh. But yeah, no, I'd give this
It's been
a
the longest time. It was something related to. Fuck, just keep going.
like I don't know, like it's been a long time since somebody's been here. Is what I got out of it. Like, I'm sure that's not the actual dialogue, but
Yeah, it was
whatever.
something like that. It's like, it's been so long since someone's been
Because who the
here."
fuck wants to live on Tatooine?
No one.
No one, exactly.
Not even people born on Tatooine.
Yeah, like shit. The people born on Tatooine can't wait to fucking leave Tatooine.
I do kind of like the bit of the cyclical nature between Chewie and Lando, because now they're
Yeah.
back together again.
Yeah.
And everyone else is dead, and it's just like sad. Now they're all alone together again, like they were before they met Han Solo.
Yep. But yeah, no, I'd give this a solid 6.5, 7 out of 10. It was better than The Last Jedi. Like I said, spent a lot of time cleaning up the mess that was left by that movie, but yeah, no, like I don't get why people are hating on it. I mean, I know if you
I can definitely get why people are hating on it.
Yeah?
The showdown between Rey and Palpatine is like every showdown between the main villain and the big good guy at the end.
yeah,
Like, it's just, it's so bad. It, like, objectively thinking about it from, like, a Star Wars standpoint, like, oh, that's how he's gonna be defeated, a 20-second fucking, like, lightsaber lightning lock, where
Yeah.
she brings out a second lightsaber, and that's enough to, like,
Yeah.
I get in the movie that makes sense, but, like,
yeah,
that's fucking dumb. It's really dumb.
yeah,
Palpy, just stop doing the lightning for, like, a second.
yeah. Like, I would have liked to see a lightsaber duel between those two, but
Right?
at the same time, you know, Palpy only...
He's young again. He got healed, like, or not young, but he's
he-
feeling great now.
Yeah, he's back in fighting form, but he's probably still rusty after spending 30 years in the
And
GLaDOS
we
chair.
didn't really get any good, like, okay, the lightsaber fights were good in this movie, but you could have easily replaced those lightsabers with swords. It wouldn't have worked. You go to any, I hate saying this because I hate the first two. Third one's fine. Prequels, best lightsaber duels in the entire series
Yeah.
of all of Star Wars, and they could have easily done that good of a lightsaber duel in this battle, but like, yeah, they jump over the waves. And she does that dope-ass, like, jump trick where she cuts off the wing of the, like, TIE fighter. But, like,
Yeah.
when you have to point out cool, acrobatic, like, lightsaber shit a couple times in the Star Wars, it's like, god damn it. I want, like, a dope-ass lightsaber fight, not literally just, I'm gonna do a spin and then,
Yeah, like, I can also kind of see it from a character perspective. Like,
Well, Rey's never been trained in lightsabers,
Yeah.
like, forms, but I'm sure Kylo was?
yeah, like, I'm sure he was, but also, like, really looking at it throughout, like, all three movies, Kylo's less of a sword fighter and really more of a brawler.
Yeah, I know. But so is Rey, apparently.
Yeah, but she's a brawler with a stick, not with a sword.
I know, it's just, they had, like, it's like two barbarians fighting each other. Yeah, it's cool for a bit, and
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, they're hitting each other with the same shit.
There's a very funny comment that only obliquely has anything to do with this. So I was watching some Mortal Kombat 11 gameplay stuff earlier this week, and the guy I was watching, they ended up Terminator versus Terminator with the exact same loadout of like skills. So
Yeah.
both of them would like pop their like no stagger ability and just start like flailing at each other. And the guy who playing the game is like, man, it's like watching two drunk dads fight at a Little League game.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there was so much I liked about this movie.
Yeah.
And so much that kind of bugged me but didn't make me dislike it. Like, I'm still, like, the Swiss Army lightsaber is barely in the movie, and it's also
Yeah.
not that cool. Like, once you realize what the whole closing thing is for, and if you have even the slightest knowledge of anything outside the movies, like,
Yeah.
just turn it off and on real quick. It's literally a main technique for Jedi.
Yep.
Like, just boop boop, that's it.
Yeah. It's a good movie if you don't look too deeply into it.
Yeah.
It was,
Which is a bummer, because
Yeah.
people have been looking deeply into the Star Wars movies for decades.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, don't do it or you'll be mad.
yeah, someone else, like, I was really trying to avoid
Except
spoilers.
for Rogue One. Rogue One is the shit.
Yeah. I went on, like, almost a full Star Wars blackout for, like, the week leading up to us seeing this movie. But some of the people I talked to were like, yeah, like, the movie, like, it's a big fireworks display, is what it really is.
It's a little too shallow. It's not that superficial.
No, it's not, but, like, compared to, like, the other two movies in
It's like going to a really, really nice state fair.
Yeah.
But for the last, like, 6 or 7 years, you've been going to, like, Universal Studios.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is awesome, but, like,
Yeah, it's a spectacle. It is a spectacle, which I feel like with how the sequel trilogy ended up, like, ending, basically, and how the other two movies were, it's like, that's kind of almost really the only thing it could have been at this point.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's fine. They did it well. I, at no point, was bored during this movie.
Yeah, I wasn't bored at any point either.
Yeah.
Once you get sucked into the narrative of the movie without thinking about the rest of Star Wars,
Yeah.
like, hell yeah. Like, there were points where I realized I haven't blinked in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Like, ow.
Like, it was a dope spectacle, and I'm glad that it exists.
Yeah.
And I will definitely be buying it on DVD, and I'm going to go see it again this Wednesday with my wife.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind watching this again, DVD or not. Like,
Yeah.
I probably won't rewatch any of the prequels except for Revenge of the Sith, which, fuck everyone in the comments, it's the only good prequel movie.
Yeah.
And it is a good movie.
It is. I saw a great GIF from,
Can you hear that? It's salt.
yeah,
It's pouring in.
yeah. But,
I said I liked a prequel.
I mean, shit. There's a great GIF someone made of the scene where Anakin goes to Mustafar and kills off all the Separatist leaders, and the whole time he was striking people down with his lightsaber, it was like this is Reddit, and Anakin was labeled as administrator, just banned, and then he gets to Newt Gunray, and Newt Gunray's like, wait, please, we marked our thread spoilers. We only want to talk about the movie. Banned.
Yeah, it sounds like the Star Wars Reddit.
Oh, it was so fucking funny. It was great. No, I really like Revenge of the Sith. It's definitely my favorite out of the prequel trilogy.
Well, yeah. Anyone who says they like the first movie better might have eaten like lead chips as a child. Ate lead chips as a child. If you like the second one better, I get where you're coming from.
But I
still don't agree with you.
Yeah, no, we don't agree. But
like the whole Gungan versus the that was really dope. But Jar Jar had a scene every 12 seconds.
yeah, no. The only good bits to really come out of Episode 1 was any scene with Darth Maul doing Darth Maul stuff.
Yeah, basically Qui-Gon Jinn, Darth Maul, and yeah.
Yeah, that was.
I actually tried to think hard for a second. I was like,
I mean, Ewan McGregor was there, but he was always with Qui-Gon, so it doesn't count.
was that even Ewan McGregor?
Yeah.
That was young Obi-Wan.
Yeah, that was Ewan McGregor. He played young Obi-Wan in all 3 movies.
But the second movie was only like 2 years later, and he was like a fucking adult.
Well, they made him look young.
I mean, I thought it was a separate actor for the first one, and this.
Nope, it was all Ewan McGregor.
Shit. I'll have to go look again because there's so much of a difference between 1 and 2. It's like there's no way.
It's the beard, man. It's the beard. But yeah, no. You also got to remember that Episode 1 came out in 1999.
Yeah, and then Episode 2 came out in 2001.
Yeah.
So 2 years late, 2.
I mean, I'm gonna assume that Obi-Wan just ages rapidly because he goes from.
Wait, no, Revenge is 2004. Might have been 2002 for the second one. I don't remember. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, but I'm just gonna say it's canon that Obi-Wan ages really fast because you go from, probably like mid to late 30s Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith, and then like 18 years later, looks like Obi-Wan in Episode 4.
Yeah.
He aged rapidly.
Yeah.
Like, he got old real. I mean, I'm assuming living hermit style on Tatooine is not good for you, but still. Dude got old.
I don't know, man. Old people love moving to Arizona for that dry heat for some reason. Maybe it does do something for you.
Shit, I don't know.
Maybe he would look decrepit if he wasn't on Tatooine. Just like real, he peaked at 12.
But yeah, no, as much as we can nitpick episode.
Pause it for a minute.
Oh. No.
Okay, yeah, they're not going crazy.
Yeah,
it's not that bad.
Yeah, as much as we could nitpick Episode 9 to death, and we could.
I could also nitpick it to life. There's so many little things. I just loved the knowing look and the shrug Kylo Ren gave to the Knights of Ren once he had the lightsaber.
Yeah.
Where they freaked out and he was just like, I know, dude, I'm sorry. Like, I know this is unfair now.
Yeah. Also, call out to the great little bit where he ducked and spun the saber behind his back and cut that dude's, like, giant machete sword. And he was just like, whew, I'm glad that worked.
Right, yeah, like, he held it for a minute.
Yep.
it worked, and he was like, "Oh, thank God."
Whew, okay.
I did that a little early. I'm glad it still worked.
Yeah, but yeah.
Or like when he makes the no-look blaster shot, because forced.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I'd say this is.
And like I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I mean, I think it's a good enough end for the Star Wars series of movies, not on the whole, but like it ended well. It ended on a high note with some sad notes in there. We lost some characters because obvious real life death and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we also gained a lot of really cool shit to come out of this movie.
Did.
Yeah.
We got to see Palpatine get his shit wrecked rather than like thrown down a shaft and never seen again.
Yeah.
Like no, he definitely dead this time. Like he's really, really extra dead.
Yeah. But like it ended and it left the universe open for
Pretty much anything, really.
Yeah, new expanded universe.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
I mean,
yeah.
I know like everyone thinks of like Hollywood execs when they make movies they always have no idea about. Like they're always like totally retarded. Like I don't even know who these people are. Just make this movie. Just make it make money.
Yeah.
But I know they know that there's a whole chunk of shit in the now non-canon stuff that has to be included. Like the Yuzhang Vong, that would make a great ass movie.
Yep.
Or maybe not another. Actually, maybe another trilogy. That was a big deal.
I mean, yeah, you could.
But it would only appeal to like the fans of the not movies because no one else would know what the fuck that is. They'd have to do a lot of explaining, and maybe they would think that's too much of a risk.
I mean,
something like that.
You could make it right. Just a basic overview is like it was Luke's Jedi Order who fought the Yuzhang Vong. Now it could be Rey's Jedi Order who fights the Yuzhang Vong.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible.
I feel like she might just find a Grey Jedi Order. Like she's like Luke's so much like the Jedi didn't work, and she's also like the dark side doesn't work either.
Yeah, but then they retconned.
And then yellow lightsaber.
Yeah. But then they kind of retconned it where Luke was like, "Yeah, I was wrong. Like the Jedi need to be a thing."
Oh, that's what he said? I thought he said he was wrong for hiding on a planet rather than the Jedi need to be a thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was kind of talking about both, and she's like, well, like, weren't you, like, real down on the Jedi? And he was like, yeah, no, I kind of fucked that up, didn't I? Sorry.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so...
The Jedi from the Old Republic cannot be a thing again. They were way too...
They were borderline corrupt, almost.
They were so ignorant they might as well have been corrupt. You got the same results.
Yeah, pretty much.
Same results without the intention, I guess.
Yeah. And there is a Grey Jedi still lurking in the galaxy at this point.
Isn't Ahsoka alive?
Yeah, she's still alive. She's somewhere hanging out in the unknown regions.
Is that the same place that they went in the movie, or is that the Forbidden Regions? Or I know there's like the unknown regions and then like a really bad place that no one ever really goes.
It's kind of both. Like the unknown regions is basically like a really big, pretty much uncharted for the Republic
Isn't
area.
Because it's kind of like surrounded by black holes or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's
gravity wells.
It's
which
very
is also a black hole.
Yeah, it's very dangerous to go in there without proper navigation, and the only people hanging out there who have proper navigation are the Chiss, and they're very isolationist. Like, don't share their shit with anybody. So, Thrawn's people are out there somewhere. Ahsoka might be hanging out with Thrawn's people. Fuck, I don't know.
Probably not.
Who the hell knows what she's doing out there?
Right.
But she's out there, so there's a Grey Jedi lurking around in the unknown region somewhere that Rey could be like, hey, bae, you want to force FaceTime? Yeah. But, no, they left it good and open for all the writers and shit to make a new expanded universe, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I'll take my old expanded universe, but if I can't get that, I will take a new expanded universe.
What are you doing?
Having trouble with volume control. No.
You putting Phantasm on?
Is this Phantasm 3? Nice.
Nice.
We watched 2 last night. We watched 1 like a couple months ago.
Yeah. So, do we want to take a break and then talk about normal stuff while we have the time?
Yeah, Dylan's going to come out to make food here in a minute. So.
Oh.
We could set it up in the garage.
All right.
We're out of her way and everything.
Yeah, sure. That works.
Close the door down there. That way the animals are up here and you could crack the door in the garage to smoke and everything.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, stay tuned. I'm going to pause this here. We're going to move my equipment down to the garage, and then we'll...
This is for all you people who pay attention to shit that doesn't matter,
Yeah.
like us, oh boy.
Yeah.
Regular viewers, you can duck out now.
Yeah. So, well, thank you for...
It's gonna get really inane.
Yeah. Thank you for watching our Star Wars spoiler review. Final rankings, I give it a 7.
I give it a 6, a 6.5 if I really, really want to be nice.
Yeah, same. But
Yeah.
between a 6 and a 7 for
Which
me.
isn't bad.
It was
not
good,
bad.
and the movie was beautiful.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
All of the effects and locations and everything was gorgeous.
Yeah,
But-
like we said while you were taking a poop, it's a big spectacle. You shouldn't look too much into it if you want to enjoy the movie, but just looking at it, taking it at face value, it's a good movie.
Yeah. So go watch it.
Yeah.
I'll
definitely worth
if it's in theaters, buy or rent. I give this in theaters.
Yeah, me too. Just for the
Yeah,
fucking
basically,
dubstep lightning.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, we will continue this on the next episode. Stay tuned.
Farewell.